Hello and welcome to India Retail Network. Today we bring to you the latest episode of our podcast series, Business Leaders and Experts, to help us unpack and decode opportunities and the complexities of India's vibrant retail market. And today I have with me Devarajan Iyer. He is the CEO of Lifestyle International. Thank you very much for being on the show, Dev.
Thank you, Rasul. Yeah.
Lifestyle, one of the pioneers in India's retail market way back in 2000s. Now you have undergone, it was sort of a roller coaster ride. You have gone a lot of transformation. What is the latest with Lifestyle now?
I think a couple of things. One is, if you look at the journey of Lifestyle over the last 10 years, two, three things from a strategic input, there are 2-3 things we're working towards. One is, how can we reach to more number of consumers, right? If you look at my store network 10 years back, we were predominantly a metro specific store. So almost 90% of our stores were in the top 6-7 metro towns.
Yeah.
Now we've opened up to 60 towns. So we are present in a much more larger number of tier 1 towns. We are present in a lot more 60 plus population towns. Today we have stores in Kanpur, Lucknow, Trichy. We have launched our stores in Madurai, Guntur, Gajuwaka. So we are really going to the 20 lakh, 15 lakh population
What does it
towns.
mean? Does it reflect the market that is evolving in India? Or you're going to the markets wherever the customer is? Are you changing yourself?
Yeah. So 2-3 things. One is, for Lifestyle to grow, there is only so much you can grow in a metro. Like in a Mumbai city or a Bangalore city, we are very particular about the kind of retail environment we are present in, right? So we are not going to open a store in any mall. We have to see what is the retail space, the retail environment of that mall, and only then Lifestyle will be there.
Right.
So even if we take a high street, we are very particular about what kind of street, what are adjacencies, what are the brand adjacencies next to us. The ecosystem. Now, we realized in the last 3-4 years, also, I think we've learned a lot from e-commerce. Digital penetration has really strengthened across the country. Now, what the data shows us is, even in markets like tier 1, which we thought was, we thought metro is where the market is, but digital has shown us that consumers are willing to spend even in tier 1 and tier 2. In fact, tier 2 is a huge growth market for digital.
Yeah, right.
So we are looking at both data. So what is the product range we are offering to the consumer? Obviously, we want customers. So there are a lot of customers in tier 1 and tier 2. Affluence in these markets also growing up. With digital showing us that there's a lot of consumption beginning to happen for brands, branded products in these markets. So we are being cautious. We are looking at market by market and seeing in tier 1 towns, especially 20 lakh population markets, is there a strong foothold for Lifestyle to be present? And happy to say that in the last 2 to 2.5 years, we opened up close to 32 stores in these tier 1 markets.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's a big pivot in our business model.
So what's the composition right now from being a metro-centric retailers to now, what is the composition?
Yeah. So today, if I look at my network, earlier it was 90-10, 7-8 years back. Now it has moved to almost 65-35. 35% of my network is in non-metros.
Okay.
So from a number of stores perspective.
Number of stores, 65 known metros.
No, 35 is non-metro.
So
For
it's 10%
has become 35%. Yeah.
Okay. And apart from that, your positioning, you've always been mid-market, and in between, you were trying to are trying to become more affordable.
Yeah.
Now there is again a pivot. What is the latest avatar?
No, from a positioning, there's no pivot.
Okay.
From a positioning, we continue to be mid to premium.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
We are definitely not value. We are definitely not luxury. We are in that sweet spot where, we are right between mid to premium. And that's a positioning we would continue to build on.
Okay.
Because I think with the aspirational class growing in the country, a lot of customers will upgrade.
Right.
And
which is happening as we speak.
Yes. And as they upgrade, we would like Lifestyle to be the first point of contact for these customers.
So what would you do? What kind of brands? You don't want to become a bridge to luxury.
Yes.
But then what kind of positioning
so if you look at Lifestyle stores, we are a mix of, we have a very strong private label program.
Right.
And we also have a lot of strong national and international brands in our portfolio. If you look at any brand that really matters to Indian consumer, on the formal space, you have Louis Philippe, Van Heusen, Allen Solly, all of them are there with us.
Yeah.
In denims, there's Levi's, there's Nautica, there is American Eagle, all of them are there.
Yeah.
So even from casuals, US Polo, Benetton, Celio. So if you look at the best of best brands, we will always have. So you go to any store, whether it is a metro, non-metro, these brands will always be there.
Right.
The large international and big national brands will be there. But we also realize that the same customer also, there are product gaps in these brands, right? So a single brand does not sort of satisfy all the needs, fashion needs of that customer. So there are always gaps. We have a very, very strong private label program.
Yeah.
Our private label is upwards of 33-34% of our revenue.
Total revenue.
Total revenue.
Wow. That's more
It's
than
pretty strong.
your competition, Shoppers Stop, which is 21%,
Yeah,
right?
it's pretty strong.
Is it bound to grow or is it coming down?
See,
as we
in
speak?
some categories, not because we are intentionally doing it. I think in some categories like Western wear, women's Western wear, women's ethnic wear, kids wear, we actually see the gaps increasing.
Okay.
Right? So,
What are the reasons?
see, for example, if you look at menswear, there are enough brands which are satisfying consumer needs, right? But if I ask you, okay, what are the ethnic wear brands you're aware of? You will say Biba, you will say W, and then you're like, okay, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Right? So there is
So there's
actually
a
no
gap.
offering.
Right,
There is actually no offering, and there's a huge gap. Having said that, we are also spotting a lot of regional, brands. Like there is a brand in Jaipur which does extremely well in certain categories.
Okay.
There is a regional brand in Hyderabad which does extremely well in very ornate, festive collection. Now we will take them as well, right? But despite that, we see there is a huge opportunity for us to play in ethnic wear and Western wear. Kids wear, there are good brands, but the prices are so exorbitant, so expensive, because in kids, the kids grow so fast. Like when you buy a t-shirt for a 5-year-old, within 6 months the child is outgrowing. Now the mother does not want to spend 2,000 rupees for a t-shirt because the kid is going to outgrow in 2 months' time, right?
Yeah.
So price is going to play a very, very strong role in kids wear.
So is it going to be right in kids? In other segments, for example, like your stores, you are upgrading your stores, right? Is it a same yardstick you are using for metro cities and tier 2? This format is going to be same, or is it smaller, bigger, or different positioning?
See, for given lifestyles positioning, right? The consumer is similar. I won't say it's same. It's similar.
Right.
Whether you go to Madurai or Lucknow and Delhi, it's similar. However, the market potential of Madurai or a Lucknow is far lower than a Delhi. So to that extent, we are making corrections in the store size. So for example, if you look at my Mall of India store in Noida, it's
big, right?
53,000 square feet.
Right.
But our store in Madurai is 27,000 square feet. So we are adjusting for market potential.
And within the stores, what are the things, new elements you are trying to bring? Like some of your competitions are even upping the ante on beauty, bringing some cafes and all this. So what is your future store is going to look like?
Yeah, that's an interesting question because we have just opened our latest identity store.
Okay.
It's a completely new store identity.
That's the future store?
That's
Are you studying?
That's the store at least for the next 2 to 3 years.
Okay.
So we are constantly sort of saying what can we do better.
Okay.
At least for the next 2 to 3 years, that's going to be the identity. All the new stores that we open, all the renovation that we will do that will be the model, right?
Okay. If you could just describe the store.
Yeah. So we've opened this store in Phoenix Palladium in Mumbai.
Okay.
It's close to 35,000 square feet, spread over 2 levels, 17,000, 18,000 square feet.
Okay.
The big difference that you will see, for example, the big pivot we are making is a lot of customers, like you just said, you're a department store. We want to stand for a fashion store, not necessarily a department store. Now, not to say that we're exiting a few categories. No. If you go to the store, most stores, whether it is Bloomingdale's, Macy's in the US or even here, most of them start with beauty, watches, sunglasses, non-apparel categories.
Yeah.
We actually start with fashion.
Why so?
Because we want to stand for a fashion store.
Okay.
We believe fashion is our core competence.
Right.
Fashion is what we want to stand for as a brand.
You don't want to dilute it.
We don't want to dilute fashion. At the end of the day, actually beauty is also fashion.
Yeah.
Right?
Lifestyle, everything. Right?
Yeah, everything is fashion.
Yeah.
But from a consumer's point of view, apparel stands for fashion. And what you wear, then you change the other accessories based on what you wear. For example, you wear a nice pair of denim, the shoe that you wear is going to will be determined by what denim you wear and not the other. It's not like I want to wear this shoe, therefore what will go with it. It's always the other way around. So apparel,
mix and match, right.
Apparel decides what lipstick, what shoe, what handbags you're going to wear.
Right.
We want to now win the apparel category for the customer.
And
we want to give, and then all the categories are going to be there, right? So you buy apparel and then we navigate you seamlessly in a way where you will find very intuitively the next thing that you want to shop.
That's a conscious decision. You think fashion is the bedrock.
Yes.
Everything else revolves around.
Works around it.
Right.
Yeah.
And one thing is like it's been quite challenging for department stores in India. Globally, like a lot of department chains have filed for bankruptcy. Sears, JCPenney, Neiman Marcus, or Debenhams in the UK. And there was a time when the e-commerce was gaining rapid grounds. People also started writing off department store chains.
Yeah.
Some of them even went to the extent saying that they're irrelevant. What is the relevance of department stores now?
Yeah. See, different organizations have taken different decisions. Now, if you take some of the brands that you mentioned in the US, what happens is when you have 1 or 2 good years, there's a lot of exuberance. You sign a lot of properties, right? You sign a lot of malls.
They tend to go overboard.
You just go. There's a lot of optimism in the decision making. Yeah. So ultimately, that's what is happening. So everyone is like right sizing. So all the brands you mentioned, a lot of them have right sized. Then when you start right sizing, then you realize, but this is the size of the industry. So now the economies of scale, all of that kicks in, right? So that's the first thing you have to be very, very careful. See, in retail, 2 things are extremely critical. First is the property that you sign. Second is the inventory you carry.
Yeah.
Now, if you go wrong in either of the 2, it's a big problem. Right? The rest you can all correct. But if you go wrong in these 2 decisions, it's a big problem, right? A lot of organizations have gone wrong big time on property, and property is a very big cost element to you, right? And department
especially
stores,
in India, right?
And department stores, see, that's another thing. Second is, globally, department stores have signed 100,000 square feet, 140,000 square feet properties. Here we don't sign such property. My department store is 40,000 square feet.
What is the sweet spot for you?
For us, around...
You have 53,000 as well, 35,000, right?
In a metro market, in a marquee mall, for me a marquee mall would be a Phoenix Market City, Palladium, or a DLF, Mall of India,
right?
or Pacific in Delhi. So there it would be around 35 to 40,000 square feet.
Okay.
Because the mall gets so much footfalls and we are able to sort of justify that.
Yeah.
If I go to a tier 1 market, I would say 25 to 30,000 appears, from whatever we have launched so far, appears to be a sweet spot for us to make the store viable and more profitable for us.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dave.
Thanks.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you. Thanks, Rasul.